Hello, welcome to the show. My name is Brian Nahas. I have a special guest today. His name is Francis Ssuubi.
Yes.
Francis, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Francis is a part of a ministry called
Wells of Hope Ministries. It's in Africa, Uganda. Yeah.
And Francis, tell the good folks at home what are some of the goals that you have with your ministry and a little bit more about.
Yeah, Wells of Hope Ministries, we reach out to children who have a parent in prison. And we also have an orphanage. And like right now we have 120 kids. And majority of them have a parent on death row or serving a long-term sentence.
Okay.
So we offer them education, we give them free food, we give them clothing, shelter, and most importantly, we put them on a bus 3 times a year, and they go and visit their parents in prison and have direct visits.
That's great to have that kind of interaction with their parents.
Yes. Yeah.
Because sometimes in the States, I don't think a lot of the children even get a chance to see their parents.
Yeah, or if they did, it's either for a very short time or they see them through barriers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Wells of Hope has got a good working relationship with the Ugandan prisons, and the children are able to visit their parents and have a direct contact with them. They can hug, they can eat together, they can pray together, do homework together, and it has brought so many big changes amongst these kids.
One of the questions I have, because there's so many things in this world, to be philanthropic, to give, to donate time, donate your talents, is how did you come across this ministry or know that there's a need for this ministry?
Yeah, it all started in 2002. Mm-hmm. I was in prison. I'd done no crime, but because I had a business I was doing with my friends, they accused me falsely, and I found myself in prison. Good enough, later on, the government acquitted me, said, no, you have no crime, go. But while I was in prison for 68 days, I had God tell me that go out and reach out to my people, go and preach the gospel to the prisoners. But while I was in the prison, I also saw prisoners suffer. I saw families suffer. Even my mom was affected by my imprisonment, and she passed on 8 months after I'd been released. Yeah, so
the stress level was so great for your mother.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and so when I come out of prison, we began by first doing Christmas parties. In 2004, we did Christmas parties for children prisoners, something similar to Angel Tree. Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Angel Tree is an organization that brings gifts, for example, at Christmas time, to the children of incarcerated parents.
Yes, so we used that kind of model and would go and give the gifts to kids or prisoners in Uganda, but we saw that the children in Uganda had needs were bigger. They were far bigger than a Christmas gift. These kids are dropped out of school, they had been sexually abused, they didn't have food, they didn't have clothes, they were at risk. Some of the kids were heading homes, they were by themselves. So we got an idea that we should give them monies to study in school. So we would go and pay school fees in their communities. So we did that from 2006 until 2010. We realized that it was one thing to take the school fees, but was another thing to really ensure that the kids really went into the class. And we said we should begin a school of our own. We began renting. So 2010 we rented, and in 2012 we bought land and built. So right now we have a school on the 10 acres.
Wow, yeah, that's terrific.
Yeah,
congratulations. I'm sure
Thank you.
It wasn't easy, but it sounds like you have a big purpose.
Yeah, everything has been faith by faith, step by step, just like building. It was brick by brick, day by day, and now we have it there. We still have needs, yes, but we are better off than where we began from.
So it sounds like you've been blessed. You've come a long way since 2010 to 2015.
Yes.
Now housing how many?
Yeah, we have 120 kids.
120 kids.
Yeah, with a parent in prison.
Male and female
students? We have, but most of the kids we have are girls. Like 60% of the kids are girls. Why? Because the girls are more vulnerable to HIV/AIDS, to being sexually abused, to getting pregnant when they are still young. Even at 13 years, people, rape the kids. And so that's why we have more girls. And also, girls have lesser opportunities. People think girls are for marriage, they're for the kitchen, and that kind of thing. So what we do, we reach out more to the girls than to the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, in your experiences from where you have been, 2010 to now, what is your goal? What is your mission? Where do you see your ministry taking you? The needs of the people, the children, the prisoners.
Yeah. You see, the children in Uganda who have a parent in prison, they are approximately 200,000. We can't tell the exact number. From a little research small research we did, we can estimate that the children are like 200,000. Yet we are reaching out to 120.
Okay.
So that's a small number, and our capacity is 250.
Okay.
So we want to first get all the kids we can accommodate, so we can have like 250, and we want to see if we can get a sponsor for each of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Then for the other kids, the plan is to engage the government. We want to advocate, to lobby, to create more awareness in schools, in the communities, so that these kids can be helped from their communities. Then we can only accommodate those kids who are at a great risk, only those who are at a great risk.
Okay.
So that's where we see ourselves going. Then we have a 20-year plan. The 20-year plan is all the 250 kids who we can accommodate, and maybe a little more will be added on over the years. We can be able to train them, and they are able to go through a process so that one day they can become community changers. Yeah, that's the plan. So we have at this because the school is mainly elementary. So at elementary level, we want them to go through like a model, a kind of a classical model of education, so that they are able to understand their communities at different stages, and also come up with ways of changing things about in their communities. And eventually also reach out to other kids of prisoners. So we believe God can work through these children of prisoners to change the country.
Yes. Well, very good.
Yeah, and also before I forget, the other plan is not just for Uganda, but also to influence other countries in Africa.
So globally,
and even outside Africa, about the situation of children of prisoners, because we've learned the children of prisoners, wherever they may be placed, either in Yemen, Iraq, in the United States of America, Uganda, they go through the same kind of trauma. The only differences are because some countries, children who are vulnerable have a safety net. Like here, you have adoption and foster care. In Uganda, we don't have those kind of things. So that's why we reach out to kids who have food and those basics. Here, the kids who have basics, but the problem, they are traumatized. So kids have the common problem of trauma, worry about their parents in prison. So we want to share some of the things we have learned and see that more kids can be helped in other parts of the world. Yeah.
So how do I, myself, or any of my viewers, get started? What must we do to be a part, to help, to share, to help support with your ministry?
Yeah, thank you very much. One, we need a lot of prayer. Because it's been by prayer that we have been able to move. So besides prayer, we also have needs. People are invited, they can come to Worlds of Hope and work with us and see what they can do. Some people have talents, others have ideas, and whatever they can offer. Then also we have financial needs. Yeah, right now we want to set up a boys' dormitory. The dormitory we have is being shared by the boys and the girls, even though they don't share the rooms, but the government requires that we have a separate building, a separate place. So we are in need of monies. That building is like $27,000. That's the money we need, and to set it up. Then we also want to set up a dispensary, which, that's like a sanatorium, or I don't know what you call it, like a small hospital. Yeah, in the place. That's around like $35,000. And then we also need people who can sponsor kids. Sponsoring kids is just $35 per month. Yeah, and we have a non-profit here in the United States of America where people are able to donate money and they get a tax receipt, and that money comes to Africa, to Worlds of Hope. So that's how people can participate. And whatever they can do, whatever God leads them to do. Yeah.
So we can sponsor a child.
Yes.
Donate money.
Yes.
actually volunteer and go
Yes.
to Uganda.
Yeah.
And
You can also speak to somebody about us. If you got me a friend who wants to hear my story, who would want to listen, then that also works. Then we also need ambassadors, people who can speak for words of hope and recruit child sponsors and maybe get help. And the ambassadors have an opportunity of becoming directors in the non-profit here in the United States of America.
Well, I don't know how it is for you, Francis, but when I heard that we needed mentors for this Angel Tree, taking the kids to camp, they didn't have enough male mentors.
Yeah.
I signed up, and when I went, I thought, wow, I'm scared. I'm a little nervous. I don't know much about this. But when you go into a situation with that, and God just leads you, the Holy Spirit just takes you somewhere, that it becomes such a blessing to me to see the works that happen and just to be with the children, to encourage them, inspire them. But what happens is I get more blessed. I think I'm helping them, and they end up helping me because so much is revealed to me.
Exactly.
That it's just actually very emotional many times to see the breakthroughs that the children have, let alone yourself, by giving your time and talents.
Yeah, even me, I want to say this, that most times I think I'm giving to these kids, but I find I benefit from them because they speak to my life. Yes, there are things we take for granted. I just can't imagine that me, my children, me being in prison and my children are out there. And then that thing, like with the children we support, there's something about these kids that is so miraculous. They have this energy, they are positive, they're so prayerful, they have a lot of hope, you know. You would think maybe they would be very sad, but they are not sad. They're so hopeful. They're always praying. If you ask them, how can I pray for you? They say, pray for my parent in prison. I believe it will come out one day. Even when the parent is on death row, they still have hope. And we really seen God do miracles. People on death row being released because of these children's prayers. And even for the school itself, because the way we built that school, we didn't have any money. But those kids would pray. They would even hope. Put their hands on the building and say, God, bring the money to plaster, bring the money to put the roof, bring the money to do this. And the kids were just praying. So I'm really inspired by their faith. But the other thing I should say about, because here you're doing mentoring for the kids, the thing is that the interventions country to country are different depending on the need. Here, because of the social situation here, mentoring works so well. For us, it's mainly because the needs, because the kids need food, they need the education. So if we are giving them the education, we're giving them the food, the clothes, and they have a sponsor from America, that alone gives them a lot of hope, and they look forward to a big future. And it works on them to deal with the trauma they go through, and they're able to cope. So, and because they have people like me, they have their teachers, the matrons, the house moms, and other people work with Words of Hope and other volunteers. That also gives them hope. In a way, they have people whom they think, actually not just thinking, the people they believe in them. By the way, children of prisoners, that's a very powerful thing. If they can get just one person who can believe in them, who can encourage them, they can hold on to that one. So they are looking for somebody who can think of themselves. Because in the community, they are being traumatized, they are being called names. Like in Uganda, they'll say, that's a child of a prisoner. That's a child of a murderer.
They're labeling them.
They label them, But if they get somebody, like the way you went out and started speaking to them, they see a friend in you. And then they know, yes, there's somebody who loves me. And then they get hope. And they want to know what you're doing. And if they can be like you.
And we say in America, we like to even the playing field. We don't want kids to be, pointed out, to stand apart from other kids. And, what's really heartbreaking is that life isn't fair, and these kids are dealt sometimes a bad deal. They can't be responsible for what their father or mother
the thing
is doing.
is that imprisonment was designed to put either the man or the woman in the prison. But they didn't think at the time when they were designing prisons, the impact, the collateral effects that it has, the collateral damage it puts on the family.
Uh-huh.
The family was put out of the picture.
Right.
Even just to begin with the visitation, which is very, very key for children of prisoners world over. Visitation, just go visit and have a direct contact. The prisons were not designed for direct visits.
Right.
They were designed to keep these guys away from their families.
Mm-hmm.
But the governments, the states world over, never thought that they were punishing somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, somebody did a research and said that children of prisoners do 6 times more.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody is serving 1 year, then the child of a prisoner does 6 years. Yeah, so the families pay the price, they pay the toll for the person who is in prison.
Yes.
In Uganda, because of our poverty situation, if a man goes to prison, yes, he may have 1 meal a day, but at least he will have shelter over his house. He will be assured of security. He may get some medical treatment.
Right.
Now, the kids back at home, no food.
Yes.
They don't have anywhere to sleep.
So they are affected socially. The families are affected socially.
Yes.
Financially.
Yeah.
Culturally.
Yeah. Yeah, so people need to wake up. The governments need to wake up and say, who is really serving the sentence? Mm-hmm. The judges need to wake up. The police need to wake up. There are even other things which we need to look at. Things like arrest. The way they arrest people. Mm-hmm. Most of the kids we've talked to, they'll tell you, I saw my parents being beaten up, being arrested, harassed, and it really made me go mad, you know. Mm-hmm. So the police need to be talked to how they arrest parents. Yes. You go into a home to arrest a parent, and then you just leave the kids with nobody. Mm-hmm. Who's going to look after the kids? The police need to think about that. Mm-hmm. You know, the media needs to come in, because they take pictures, they take videos of someone being beaten, and they write a big story, and you know, the kids go to school, their friends show them the newspapers, and the kids will stop going to school just because of that. Yeah. So it's a big thing. Everybody needs to come in and say, how do we help these kids? Yes.
So Walls of Hope is an organization who is not only proactive, but also advocating for the good of these children.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can stop any patterns of behavior that can be passed on to the kids by giving them some sort of stability.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And you see, the thing about imprisonment when it comes to issues like arrest, it's not just affecting the child whose parent is being arrested, but also affects all the children. Because we are telling our future generation that this is how we behave. Right. And we are creating a cycle of violence, a cycle of crime. You see?
I do.
Yeah, so governments need to wake up. Everybody needs to wake up. The church needs to wake up. Mm-hmm. We should stop sleeping, and we start doing something about it. And if the church does not take the lead, nobody is going to take the lead.
Yes.
Yeah, and the Bible is clear. Matthew, is it 11:36? I'm forgetting. He says that I was in prison, and you visited me.
Oh, yes.
You see, the Bible says it. And what does it say? I was in prison and you visited me. That means whenever you help a prisoner, it's not the prisoner that you're helping. It is Jesus that you're helping.
That's right.
Yeah, and how do we help? If you say you're helping children of prisoners, yes, whenever you reach out a child or a prisoner, you're also reaching out to the prisoner. And the way I've told you, when they imprison somebody in prison, they have also imprisoned the family, so they are equally in prison.
Yes.
But also they fall in the category of being the least.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's just an amazing opportunity to share with myself and with my audience about what you guys are doing at Walls of Hope.
Yeah.
And we appreciate what you're doing. And hopefully we can all be a part of it and help out when you can. And we thank you, Francis Ssuubi, for all that you do. And may God bless you and continue to lift you up and your ministry with the greatness that only God can do. And it sounds like the Holy Spirit is working fully in your life.
True.
And
thank you.
Thank you for coming today.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you. Francis Ssuubi, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.